Hey guys, it is day 25 out here on the AT. I have Lisa with me now. This is her third day out here. We are hiking from Spring Mountain Shelter and campsite up to Little Laurel Shelter, which is about 9 miles, almost completely uphill. There was a couple little small drops in elevation, but the rest is all uphill. I decided to take the hat off, which you can see here, and rock the bandana for a little bit. And my hair's been super crazy the past few days, so I thought, why not? Because really, who am I trying to impress out here? So, still walking up to Little Laurel Shelter, and Lisa just stopped back there a little bit to rest her legs. I'm gonna move on ahead, and then I'll stop up here and she'll catch up to me. We had some trail magic last night at the campsite. Somebody brought out a bunch of chocolate bars and sodas for everybody. Also, he had some beers for people, which was pretty cool. Lots and lots of dogs at the campsite, and a couple of people even had dog treats they were giving out, which was pretty cool. Really nice of them. So today, me and Lisa have been both wearing our AT Outdoor 76 bandanas that we got in Franklin. Pretty cool stuff. Our trail is almost completely uphill today. You can't really tell from the video here, but it's very steep. Hey guys, still day 25 here. We were hiking up our last big climb before we get to our shelter for the night at Little Laurel Shelter here in North Carolina. We're about 30 miles south of Irwin, and I think we're maybe 4 or 5 days hike away from the state line. So we're making some good progress. I was told recently that some people wanted some tips for hiking and distance hiking. Little things that they can do or not do to make it easier for themselves. To start with, training. There's really no substitute for actually doing it. I mean, you can walk miles and miles at home, or you can wear a backpack around the house, or even do, some basic workout stuff. But nothing's really going to prepare you for how intense the trail is going to be, or any trail really, other than getting on that trail and just doing it. For going uphill, it was I think it was yesterday, when I told Lisa, here she is in front of me, I told her that instead of, say your first thing in the morning, your energy is at 100%, you don't want to, have explosive power at the beginning of the day and just run to the top of the first hill when you have 15 more, or power through the first 200 feet of your 1,200 foot climb, because then you're gonna have to stop and catch your breath, and then next time you stop, you might only get half the distance you got before. So instead, just pick a nice steady pace to start at, to where you only have to stop once or twice, and you're not stopping for 5 or 10 minutes. It's just 15-20 seconds, enough to catch your breath and see a cool view, and then keep on moving. That way, as you continue to hike, your muscles are getting more and more conditioned, and pretty soon that slow pace that you started with, you'll just be running in comparison, and you won't need to stop and rest. So as long as you have good building blocks and start with going slow and easy. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You'll get there, and the more you do it, the better you'll be. Hey guys, so we've already talked about how going uphill can be made a little bit easier and less difficult on your body. Something that I found for going downhill, which would seem to be easier, is actually more taxing on your body than going uphill. Because going uphill, your muscles feel it more, but not so much your bones and your joints. When you go downhill, your ankles and your knees, and sometimes even your hips, really start to feel the impact of that bone-on-bone impact. And a way that I found to minimize that was to actually speed up as I'm going downhill. It sounds kind of counterproductive because I'm sure you've heard slow and steady wins the race. But when you're going really slow, you're kind of making that impact last longer than it needs to. And it's almost to the point where you can feel just every bit of discomfort from each and every step, versus if you can speed it up a little bit and you're almost going at like a slow jog, and use your trekking poles out in front of you as a second pair of legs. And I'll use my trekking poles maybe every 4 or 6 steps, just to kind of almost like hover over a certain section or over some roots or some rocks. And by speeding up, it's kind of like you're just gliding over the terrain, and it's almost like you're just rolling past all of the pain. And then when you get to the bottom, you're out of breath a little bit more because you were going faster, but you don't feel nearly as sore. And I know that to be true for myself, for Pop-Tart, as well as Lisa, who's behind me. Here's her little dog behind us. He's just waiting until she can catch up. So yeah, next time you're out for a hike or out for a walk, if you have any sort of discomfort in your joints or your legs as you're going downhill, if you're able to, try to just speed it up just a little bit and see if that doesn't help minimize your discomfort. Hey guys, so we made it to our campsite here at Little Laurel Mountain Shelter, and I thought I'd take a quick minute to show you guys what we have to go through every day, several times a day, just to have water to drink and cook with. You know, it's not like when you go camping and you take your car to get there and you can take a case of water or 2 or 3 gallons and big jugs. You pretty much just have to find water where you can, and then filter that to be able to drink it, because this water is not necessarily the cleanest, and it's definitely not as easy as just turning on your kitchen sink to get some water. And it definitely gives you a better appreciation for having it while you're at home, and how much we took it for granted to leave the water running. And when you're doing dishes or something like that you may not even consider how much you're using versus how much you're not using while the water is running. But to get 2.5 liters of water, that particular spring was moving pretty quick, so we were able to get our water pretty fast there. But most of the time it's about a quarter of that speed, and you might have to end up waiting 10 or 15 minutes just to filter some water so you can have a drink in the morning, or have water to cook your oatmeal. You don't even realize how often you end up needing water until you have to filter it and carry it yourself. Going through 6 or 8 liters of water in a day may seem like a lot while you're at the house, doing your regular things, because you might be tempted to, have a sweet tea or a lemonade or a soda. But out here, water is the only option. And when you have to, sometimes you got to walk a quarter mile out of your way just to get there, just to be able to have your breakfast or cook your dinner. It definitely gives you more of an appreciation for what you have to go through to get it and how vital it is for you.